Greetings, Martians! You didn't expect me to say that, did you? Welcome back to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch Muppets from Space 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And this week we have a first time guest on this podcast, I believe, but
Yes.
a valued member of the Tough Pigs team. Guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Drake Lucas. I'm one of the Tough Pigs team.
There you go. Yeah, we're so glad we could get you on moving right along finally.
I am so excited. This is my favorite podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Aw, thank you so much.
Wow. And today you're here with us to talk about minutes 33 and 34 of Muppets from Space, in which K. Edgar Singer greets Gonzo and the Muppet Gang takes a trip to Muppet Labs. So we start at Covenant with K. Edgar Singer, played by Jeffrey Tambor, introducing himself to Gonzo. He says, "I'm Edgar, but I want you to call me Ed." And Gonzo and Rizzo take in this information. Rizzo turns to Gonzo and says, "That's Ed."
I
Which,
really like that.
yeah,
The way Rizzo mutters, "That's Ed."
right. I don't know why it's so funny, but it does make me chuckle every time. That's Ed. And he continues, Singer continues, "And it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Gonzo." Then Bobo, as Rentro, says, "Yeah, me too." And Rizzo notices that Rentro is holding a tray of snacks. So he exclaims, "Hors d'oeuvres," and runs over to get some of those. And by the way, did I spell the word hors d'oeuvres correctly in my notes on the first try? No, I certainly did not. So, Singer asks Gonzo to sit down while Rizzo is chowing down on, I think these are just kind of like maybe a bowl of mixed nuts. Is that what that
That's what
looks
it looks
like?
like. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And Bobo says something like, "Careful there, you'll get gas."
Yeah, that's not great.
No, I don't like that.
I mean, it's
It, it totally seems like a line though. They're trying to crack each other up, I think. I think it's
like
one of those like,
like Bill is just trying to make Steve
yeah.
laugh, you think? Yeah,
I feel
that's
like it's one of
probably
those
true.
lines you throw in and see like, how the other person responds.
Yeah,
It certainly feels like Bill, like more than a scripted line.
I could see that. Yeah. Well, I think probably this and the "That's Ed," I would be very surprised if those weren't, ad libs or things that they came up with on the day. I don't think either of these were scripted.
I think
Um,
that's right.
so Gonzo says he's excited, and Singer says he is too. Singer starts raising Gonzo's chair with an off-screen foot pedal, presumably like Gonzo's about to get a haircut in the barber's chair. I do like the design of this chair. I don't know if either of you have opinions on it, but it's kind of like looks like it could either be from a 1950s sci-fi movie or from the Sharper Image catalog, like kind of a retro futuristic looking chair.
Yeah.
I did like the chair, but I didn't go barber. I went dentist. I had a
Oh
little
yeah.
shop of horrors moment where he's kind of got that sinister look and you feel like something bad is about to happen. And I have a maybe negative association with the dentist anyway, but I had that like raise up the chair, pull out the drill moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sure.
can
The
definitely see that.
dentist, right? And you're usually, but probably most people are not nervous when the barber starts raising the chair, but at the dentist, most people or more people are probably feeling nervous when that happens. Although Gonzo is not nervous. Yeah, he's just like kind of content to be there at Covenant.
He's barber, but I see dentist for him. That's
Yeah, right. It's different perceptions of the situation. So, yeah, that's kind of it for the Covenant section. Anything else about this little part of the minutes before we move on?
Well, yeah, I wanted to talk about the way Jeffrey Tambor is speaking to Gonzo is the thing where he's like, as an Earthman, or whatever, that thing.
Right, speaking slowly and kind of
Yeah,
making hand
it's
gestures.
right. And it's interesting to me because it's almost the I'm speaking loudly because you don't speak English. If I raise my voice, you will understand me thing.
Yeah,
But but not he's like a little more subtle than the most obvious version of that. You know, like he's speaking very emphatically,
Yeah,
but
slowly, but
he's
not
not
so loudly.
yeah, he's not yelling at him. And that kind of makes it better to me. It makes it
Huh.
seem less egregious somehow. I don't know.
You would like it less if he said, "My name is Edgar, but I want you to call me Ed."
Yeah, or if it was like me, Edgar, you know, like he's not doing that.
Yeah, it's not like in a Western where, yeah, where the cowboys are speaking that way to Native Americans.
Right,
Right.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like it's like almost that, but a less offensive version of that.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
But just very awkward hand movements, like sit,
Yes.
chair.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's as I think I mentioned last week, I didn't think this was American Sign Language, and then I did some web searching and it's definitely not. But
No, it's sure not. Yeah.
yeah. I was pretty sure it wasn't. I just wanted to make sure. So next we're back at the Muppet House, and as Piggy comes in the door, Kermit is doing his impression of Maria and Luis from Sesame Street because he's
Th-
fixing a toaster.
There it is. I hoped you were going to say that.
Oh, good. I'm glad
I
I
had
didn't disappoint you.
I had it in my notes that Kermit is fixing a toaster like Maria and Luis. And I was like, but Ryan's going to say it. He's gonna. I know he will.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I can't tell what this tool is in his hand, though. I thought it was a soldering gun at first, but it doesn't seem like it has the gun part. It's just he's holding the handle of some kind of tool, but I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's just that same prop toaster that they've had around Sesame Street all these years, and they loaned it out to the Muppets
Could be,
as one
yeah.
of their prop tools, and there
Yeah.
you are.
They were making Elmo and Grouchland in town right around this time, right?
Ooh, yeah. Is there a toaster at the Fix-It shop in Elmo and Grashland?
I doubt it. I mean, I'll admit that I've only seen Elmo and Grouchland maybe 3 times, maybe four, which
This is
is
what it's like to be a Muppet fan, where you're like, I don't know that movie at all. I've only seen it four
four
times.
times.
Yeah,
Well, but like all of the Muppet movies, theatrical movies,
yeah.
and Follow That Bird, I've seen easily a dozen times.
Yes, of course.
You know, like no question.
Right.
Whereas Elmo and Grouchland, I've had 26 years, and I've seen it maybe 4 times.
Right.
That's not that many times.
Yeah. But there is that sequence at the beginning where they're sort of establishing all the characters on Sesame Street. Like
Right.
that could be
They
the
go to
place
the
where they would have shown a toaster being fixed.
right. Yeah. We got to check. Listeners, let us know. Is there a toaster in Elmo and Grouchland?
I'm just remembering when they show, oh, this is a little bit later, I guess, when Telly is on rollerblades and they show Ruth Buzzy as Ruthie carrying a tray that's full of glasses full of water, and she says, "Oh, this is so delicate." It's like just telegraphing the fact that
Well,
slapstick is about to happen.
we'll have plenty of time to talk about that when we watch Elmo and Grouchland 2 minutes at a time
I don't know about
in
that.
the future of this podcast.
We will talk about it, perhaps not 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah, I can't, that's the thing I can't imagine. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay to reveal. You and I have talked about perhaps doing Follow That Bird.
Yes, we have more to say about that.
Yes, but I don't think that means we have to do Elmo and Grouchland.
I
And
don't think so.
I'm saying this out loud on air because I feel like if someday when we announce Follow That Bird, people will be like, "Well, you got to do Elmo and Grouchland." And listener, I'm here to say, no, we don't.
We don't
There's
gotta.
no law.
Yeah. Drake, any opinions on Elmo and Grashland?
I wouldn't do it 2 minutes at a time.
Okay.
That's my
There
opinion.
you go. You're endorsing our plan. Miss Piggy rushes into the house. She's very excited. She's shouting Kermit's name. Kermit goes to see what she has to say, and so do Animal, Pepe, and Fozzie. Um, I did notice we've talked about how much thought they put into the design of the interior of this house. And previous guest Joanna Swanson noted that it seems like the house was decorated in the 1970s to match the 1970s soundtrack of the movie. And I do see some things in this scene that can kind of back up that thought. Like there's a radio on a shelf that definitely looks like it's from the 70s or maybe even the 60s. And just the wallpaper looks kind of
Wallpaper.
70s. Yeah, so I'm liking that theory. Um, Piggy says, "Listen, everyone, listen. I've got great news. Gonzo has been kidnapped by the government, and it could be a life-threatening situation."
I really like Piggy's enthusiasm in this moment. I think
Yeah,
it's great. I
sure.
think it feels in character for sure.
Yeah, because yeah, she's excited for very selfish reasons. The Muppets are shocked by this announcement. Kermit asks how it could be great news. Piggy says, "Because I've got the story. I've got the story." Then she says, "I need to change something that says journalistic integrity." She runs up the stairs and shouts, "Oh, oh, 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 I gotta pee."
She did it.
I don't
It
like this
happened.
either. Much like you'll get gas. I don't like this.
Drake, do you have thoughts? You look like you have thoughts.
I had thoughts on the something that says journalistic integrity. It made me think of the Clueless movie where she needs to wear her most responsible outfit. It seemed like a interesting callback on how you have to wear the outfit that portrays the, responsibleness of you.
Yeah.
But the P one, I feel like that line could have gone. I didn't need that there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is like it just feels lazy. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm real offended about it or anything. It just seems like they want her to shout something kind of naughty.
Right. I think that's what bothers me about it. It's just oh, ha, can you believe that this Muppet said, I gotta pee? That's, yeah. That this Muppet mentioned a bodily function.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about the outfit that says journalistic integrity. I don't remember what Piggy changes into. Like, I couldn't tell you what her next outfit looks like. So I guess we'll find out if it actually says journalistic integrity when we see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can't wait.
yeah, something to
Also,
look
it's
forward
got to
to.
be good because her delivery of that had no journalistic integrity. So whatever
Oh,
she wears is going to have to make up for that delivery.
That's
yeah.
true.
Right. But what I do like though is that Miss Piggy, who is a puppet, and this version of her I don't think has legs below the frame, actually runs up the stairs in the background of this shot. We see her going up and up and up, ascending the stairs as she goes. So that's cool. I'm not exactly sure how they did that, unless they just had steps built, or if somebody was like lifting up the puppeteer. I don't know.
Oh, I hope someone was lifting the puppeteer. That's way
No,
more fun.
now I want to go back and look.
Yeah, it's possible that there are really just some steps there, but then like she's still like you can't see the puppeteer over the railing, so they would still have to be crouching down, or they would have the
I
steps would have to be very low to the ground.
I kind of wonder if there just aren't any steps and it's just a railing and the puppeteer is just like raising Piggy as he
Oh,
goes.
like starts very low down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then just
Like
Piggy goes
stands
up and
up
up and up on
and
the
raises
arm.
Piggy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
possible. We're both like demonstrating as if people can see us, but I
Yeah.
think people can
All three of
imagine.
us were doing like
Yeah,
Piggy.
people can imagine what we're doing. We're
It's
starting
like the
out with
escalator trick, but backwards.
our hands
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
low.
exactly.
Yeah, basically the look at me, I'm on an escalator trick with just your arm. Yeah, just a puppet on your arm. Fozzie says, "What are we gonna do?" And Kermit says, "Okay, guys, it's up to us. We gotta save Gonzo from a whole army of government agents." Fozzie helpfully declares that he has a joke book.
He does.
And this was the first time watching this 2 minutes at a time that I noticed the title of Fozzie's joke book is Do Bears Joke in the Woods?
That's pretty good.
That is a nice
Yeah.
detail. They could have easily just, bought a joke book for kids that was not bear specific.
I have a joke book in my school library entitled Jokes for 9-year-olds.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and we had it sitting on display, and a fourth grader who had just turned 10 walked in and like did like the like snap thing and said, "Oh, I just missed it." That that happened to me like a month ago.
Wow. That's
But
great.
yeah. So Fozzie could have been reading jokes for 9-year-olds.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been. I mean, Fozzie might have the intellect of a 9-year-old, but so wait, is this book part of a series? Could you, in fact,
It
order a book for your library called Jokes for 10-year-olds?
I haven't looked into it. And
They have jokes for 7-year-olds.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We
Yeah, do
have
you have
it.
it?
In
Yeah.
fact, there may have been a whole pirate section of that book
Yeah.
that I saved
That
somewhere.
sounds right. Yeah. So I should get the whole series. That's the only one I have. Jokes for 9-year-olds.
Have it for that 10-year-old when he walks in next time, and he'll be like, yes.
You
Yeah, I
would
got it. I
you
can
would
just
make
like
his
toss it to
day
her. Yeah. Yeah,
or
her.
her
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
Yeah.
her.
But yeah.
Yeah, when I was that age, I had so many books that I would get at like the Scholastic Book Fair that were 101 something jokes, like 101 dinosaur jokes,
Yeah.
101
Big. Ryan
hamburger jokes.
Ryan was a big jovial Bob Stein guy.
Yes, a lot of them were written by Jovial Bob Stein, aka R.L. Stein.
Same guy.
In
Same guy.
addition,
What?
yeah, in addition to writing horror books, he wrote joke books.
Inside of you there are two wolves. One wrote Night of the Living Dummy. One wrote 101 dummy jokes.
Also, he was the head writer on Eureka's Castle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, maybe not a lot of people know that. So, meanwhile, back in this movie, Animal also has something to contribute to this effort. He has drumsticks, and Pepe says, "I have some loose Jell-O, okay?" And this is another favorite line, I think, among Muppet fans from this movie. And once again, it comes from Pepe, the new guy.
Well, I think that's the thing is Fozzie says, I am the joke bear. Animal says, I'm the crazy guy who plays the drums. And then Pepe says this just like completely random thing
Yeah,
with a prop that
yeah,
like again, if Gonzo said it, like you and I think both would be like, oh, why is Gonzo so weird? Gonzo
because he's always a weird
putting
guy.
Jello in his pants,
Right,
ah,
yeah.
ah, But uh,
We would say it in that voice too.
just like that, oh, rah, rah, you starfish in his pants. That's
Yeah.
what I would do. Um,
Oh,
but
right. Jello down your pants is Art Carney in Muppets Take Manhattan.
that's right, it is. Yeah, yeah. Art Carney, that's true. Um, tis the Happy Life Day, Ryan. I just watched it.
Oh,
Uh,
Happy Life Day.
yeah. But Pepe's new, so we have no expectations that he's gonna be holding loose Jello. And also, I think the visual of him shaking the Jello really helps.
Yes, I don't know what this is. I am confident, fairly certain that they would not allow a Muppet to hold real Jell-O, especially under hot movie studio lights. But whatever it is, it jiggles like Jell-O very convincingly.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
sounds super weird. What's the sound effect on that? Oh,
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a cartoon, like, yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's just, yeah, kind of a jiggly sound effect. I don't know.
and where does he keep the Jell-O? That was
It's loose. Yeah, it was a loose Jello.
Yeah, he's wearing the hoodie, right? Is it just in his pocket?
He's wearing a hoodie. Yeah,
in the hood. I'm gonna say in the hood.
Oh, yeah, sure.
yeah. There's so many convenient places in a hoodie to store Jello.
Yeah, I guess so. This also kind of feels like a miniature version or possibly intentional callback to the checklist scene in The Great Muppet Caper.
Yeah, absolutely. I had that written down too.
It
Yeah,
does, but it's a little emptier and more obvious. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the three,
right.
like we said. And also the Great Muppet Caper scene has the great counterpoint with Charles Grodin and the models doing it like very professionally,
Yeah.
which makes it much funnier that it's just like Zoot saying I ain't got no other pants or whatever,
Right.
like
Yeah. It would have been even more of an obvious retread if they had cut to the agents at Covnet showing I've got the, whatever this tool and I have this gun and I have this weapon, and then cut back to the Muppets doing these things. But um, yeah, that would have provided more of a contrast, I guess.
yeah, but would have been that same scene.
Yeah, exactly. So this is good. This works. And also, like you say, Anthony, it is kind of it works to have Pepe do the Lucello because it's like the comedy rule of threes. It's setting up the pattern with characters that we expect, and then yeah, then Pepe comes in and breaks the pattern. Okay, I appreciate this joke more than I did before. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Kermit says, in circumstances like this, there's only one place to turn, and then the camera pushes in on the stairs leading down to the basement. They're going to go down to Anthony's basement where he has his RCA Selectivision. Watch some Selectivision discs.
I do have, let's see, is he in here? Yeah, I have Bunsen. No, I don't. I have Beaker, the invisible Beaker action figure down here somewhere.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
So,
relevant to this movie.
yeah.
But no, they're going to Muppet Labs in the basement. But we start here with Bunsen looking very closely at something and then lifting up his glasses so he can look at it closer with his non-existent eyeballs.
With his no eyes.
Yes.
That is my favorite part. I love that. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
I always like when they play with the physical properties of the puppets. Like we know that Bunsen doesn't have eyes. He apparently doesn't know that. But yeah, it makes it funnier.
Well, also, I was wondering when they look down at they look over at the basement door, and then we're going to go down there. We've seen Bunsen and Beaker downstairs once already.
Yes, when Gonzo was there.
They checked Gonzo over after he got electrocuted. Do we think they just are down there all the time? Like that's where they live and sleep and eat. Like they just don't leave.
Huh.
Did they come
Yeah.
to breakfast? Yeah, I guess they did.
Yeah,
Bunsen said, "Good morning, Bob,"
right. Yeah,
at
they wake
breakfast.
up
Yeah.
in a bedroom. We don't know where the bedroom is. It could be in the basement, I guess.
Mhm. In
Um,
the basement, Madam Ruby.
oh,
Go on.
yeah,
Go on.
in the Alamo.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, maybe they just wake up, have breakfast, and go straight down to the basement and do science all day.
Yeah, they're just doing
Do
science.
science. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
What are you guys doing? Science.
science.
Yeah.
Sure. The future is being made today. But Kermit asks Bunsen what he has for them, and Bunsen begins a demonstration of the items that will aid the group in their covert operations. And as he says this, he kind of tickles the top of Kermit's head with his fingers, and Kermit makes a face, which is fun.
It's very good. That's one of those things where I wish we knew who was doing Bunsen's right hand or possibly both of his hands in that moment.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
because it's probably not Dave doing that, right?
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
It
But
does seem spontaneous again, though.
yeah,
Like
sure
it's like
does.
these other things in these minutes. Bunsen shows off a rubber ducky. He says, "This seemingly ordinary rubber ducky actually contains invisibility spray. However, the effect is sadly temporary." And Beaker says, "Mammy, mammy, mammy." And hey, it's a callback to the Muppet movie.
That was in the Muppet movie.
Yeah, with the Instagrow pills.
Remember that one?
I remember it.
We talked about that on this podcast 7.5 years
We
ago.
so long ago. Yeah. Wow. I should have looked up to see which episode of the podcast we talked about that moment. I have no idea. I have no memory of when it was.
Wait. I'm
But
gonna search Instagrow because we still have all the spreadsheets.
yeah.
It's got to be in there. Let me look.
Okay.
Instagrow. It is minutes 79 and 80, episode 40 of season 1, with our special guest Grant Harding.
Oh, nice.
So go listen to that one if you want to hear us talk about that same thing that we just talked about.
Yes, in greater detail.
Yep.
And do you say, in 7.5 years, we're going to talk about this again?
What if we
Ooh,
did?
I don't remember. I mean, we obviously didn't know how long it was going to take, but
Yeah,
we might say, join us back again for Muppets from Space.
they're going to talk about it then. You know, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
We don't make new observations on this podcast,
Oh,
Drake.
no, that's very
We
true.
just talk about the same old junk over and over.
Yeah. And I do remember seeing this movie in the theater, and I guess it's fan service, and however many years later, I'm now very sick and tired of too much fan service in franchise movies. But at the time, I was happy to hear this line.
Yeah.
And I guess the fact that it's not obvious, you really kind of have to be a Muppet fan who's seen the Muppet movie several times to
Right. It's
recognize it.
it's not like when they do Rainbow Connection in the next one
Exactly.
or whatever,
Yes.
you know.
Right. Kermit says, "Ah ha ha, the old rubber ducky with invisibility spray trick. Check."
That's good. That's cute.
Yeah. Now, and I'm fairly certain this is a reference to the 1960s sitcom Get Smart, which I think has kind of been forgotten at this point because you don't really see it I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I don't think it's on any of those like 24-hour Pluto TV channels. But when I was a kid, it was on Nick at Night, and I loved it. On Get Smart, Don Adams plays Maxwell Smart. He's a secret agent for an agency called Control, who are fighting against the evil agency called Chaos. And Maxwell Smart has many catchphrases, and one of them is when he fools the bad guys or when he gets fooled by the bad guys, he'll say, "Oh, the old whatever trick," as if it were an old, obvious, familiar thing, but it's always something absurd. You can find a video on YouTube of all of them called The Old Trick and Get Smart. This was uploaded by YouTube user Tommy Westfall's Snow Globe, which is a great name.
Great. Great. Love it. You love to see it.
Yeah, but just a few examples of this from Get Smart. The old spy in the dog suit trick. The old gun in the rabbit trick. The old microphone in the squeegee trick. The old fake fingertips on the fire escape trick. And the old remote controlled self-propelled spinning doorknob trick.
That's
That's
So,
a
wonderful.
classic.
yeah. So I love that running gag and I love that Kermit references it here.
Hmm.
And then Bunsen says, and Beaker if, and that's where this clip ends. So
That's
we'll
the
have
end.
to wait until next time to find out what he wants Beaker to do. Beaker, if you would set the VCR for Get Smart on Nick at Night.
VCR alert, Beaker.
VCR alert. Isn't it great every time we post a news item on Tough Pigs about the
A
Muppets making a
TV
TV
appearance.
appearance, and it always has VCR alert, which is something I'm almost certain our friend Joe started,
Well, no,
but
I
we
mean
still
Danny
do it.
started it. Danny
Oh, did
just
Danny
always,
start VCR alert?
yeah, well, because he just meant it. It was
Oh, because
2001.
people were really using
Yeah,
VCRs.
yeah.
Yeah,
It just when the website started, you just actually would still record live TV on a tape
yeah,
because it was the year 2001.
right.
But then Danny, like I think Joe just when you guys took over the site, Joe just kept doing it
I
as
do
a
think
joke.
that was a Joe thing, yeah, to keep just
Yeah,
calling it VCR alert.
and we've
And
never stopped.
right, and now every single time people in the comments are like, VCR alert, what year is it? Like, who has a
Yeah,
VCR anymore? Very, very sincere comments.
right. Just be like,
Yeah,
was this a mistake? Like,
right. So
nope, nope.
that's fun. So yeah, okay. Anything else on these 2 minutes, Drake, starting with you?
I just feel like when they're doing the checklist of items, it is like the rescue squad of the least helpful members, except
Probably.
maybe if Beauregard was there, it could be slightly less helpful. But I just felt like if this was my rescue squad, oof, I'd be a little concerned. Um,
Which Muppets would you want to be in your rescue squad?
um, I would say Dr. Teeth. He always has really good ideas.
Okay.
Um, Ralph, he's a dog. Dogs, they're just useful.
Reliable, yeah.
Yeah, in the same realm, Sprocket, if he was there, that could be
Yeah,
useful. Kermit can be there. Yeah, yeah.
sure.
That's fine. Gonzo, I think, obviously Gonzo can't be here for this, but I do feel like he would come up with some wild plan to just I don't know, get high up somehow in some way. Um, and I'd like the mayhem there for some music. I feel like
Oh yeah.
that would move the situation along a little bit. And they
Motivate
could be a
things.
distraction. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I guess everyone is Gaffer should be there. Just really should.
Yeah, why not?
Tapping toes by a radiator somewhere. Yeah.
Sure. Awesome. And that gives us a chance to plug your recent wonderful interview with Kathy Mullen about Gaffer on the 70 Years podcast.
Oh
Which was really
yes.
fun. And I watched a lot of Gaffer for it.
Sure,
So
I bet you
now
did.
Gaffer
Yeah.
has way jumped the list of Muppets I think about a lot.
Sure. Awesome. Same thing happened to me with George the janitor when I did
Huh,
that episode.
that's fun. Yeah. And by the time this episode is published, we might be done with the season of 70 or 70 Muppets.
I bet so. Yeah, there's only as we're recording, there's only three more
Oh,
to come
does it
out, right?
end? Oh,
Yeah,
Listeners, go listen
yeah.
to every episode of 70 or 70 Muppets if you haven't already.
Yeah, do that. The
Do
three
that.
the three of us all hosted multiple episodes, and a lot of our delightful friends hosted the others.
Yes.
So go check them out if you haven't really. I mean, if you listen to this podcast and you haven't heard those, you're in for a treat. I
Yes.
think you will enjoy it.
It might be my favorite Muppet fan podcast of all time.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Only because you can't say moving right along.
Well,
Only
no, of
because that
course I
would be
can't
it.
say my own. Yeah.
But if you've
But
ever wanted to know more about Screaming Goat, for instance,
yeah.
Everyone wants
Mildred.
yeah, Mildred, great, both great eps. I mean, really, like I think we're doing all different things on there, or we did. It's over, but we did all different things on there, and it's just I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just a fun show that I'm really proud of.
And
Sorry to
some
get
of
us
the
off topic, but
and some of the most obscure characters made for some of the more compelling episodes.
yeah,
Right, because people got creative.
Right, exactly,
You
because you
have
have
no
to.
choice.
Right.
right, right.
Yeah. What did you have anything else, Drake, on these 2 minutes?
No, well, one other little tiny moment, when Bunsen lifts his eyes and then puts them back down, then he goes, "Oh, there you are," to the rubber ducky, which is it's
Oh,
just such a
yes.
sweet, like natural way that he does that, but also that like once he puts his eyes back on, he's like, "Oh, of course, there's the rubber ducky." It's just a nice little
Right.
moment.
Now he can see it. Yeah. Anthony, anything on these 2 minutes?
We talked about the Muppet movie with Sadly Temporary. We talked about the Great Muppet Caper with the checklist scene.
Hmm.
But we've said rubber ducky like 100 times. We
Oh,
haven't acknowledged the main rubber ducky guy, Ernie. And
yes,
I
of
just
course.
feel like we need to. It's a rubber ducky in a Muppet thing. And Steve Whitmire's in this.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
who was Ernie at the time.
He was Ernie in like at the time when he Ernie basically had Rubber Ducky in every segment he was in on Sesame Street, I think, in those years.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
The way they can't show Zoe anymore without having her holding Rocco.
Oh my gosh, at Sesame Place. I was there with my daughter last weekend, and the Zoe that you can take pictures with is holding Rocco.
See?
And my daughter knew who Rocco was. She was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
well,
look, Zoe,
sure.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Zoe
Rocco's
has
like a big
Rocco."
deal now. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say
Huh.
Rocco is probably more famous with the general public than Zoe is.
That might be right. Because it's like Elmo hates this rock, right?
That's what everybody knows now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
Hmm,
world.
it is.
But yes, yeah, a rubber ducky.
Yeah. And this was also the era when Steve Whitmire was playing Ernie on street scenes all the time, right? Isn't that the late 90s?
Yeah, it was this kind of window of time. Yeah.
It's just like Rosita is like frustrated because Ernie keeps wanting to play with her or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, there were some really fun episodes in that span of years.
yeah.
Although this is sort of the more traditional rubber ducky design. Ernie's rubber ducky, I know there's people have well, I'm sure on the Muppet Wiki page for it, they've traced the history of it, I think, but Ernie's rubber ducky is not like what you usually think of when you think of a rubber ducky. Like the duck has kind of a long neck and his he's kind of tilting his head at an angle. Anyway, it's just interesting because I've seen people um, putting like the original Ernie style rubber ducky up for sale on eBay
Huh. Yeah.
because it's more distinctive. But this one that Bunsen is using is a more traditional rubber ducky. Uh, okay, so I had one thing I wanted to mention from the Department of Listener Signs on the Beach or Transmissions from Space. Uh, when we were talking about the TV station scenes, we eventually concluded when we were talking about the Piggy and Josh Charles fight that Frank Oz was probably on the set performing Piggy for those scenes. Before we got to that part, when we were talking about UFO Mania, we didn't know. We were kind of speculating, like, is this a different puppeteer? Is this Peter Lenz? And Frank dubbed it later. But a handful of listeners have told us that it does seem like Frank was on the set for the UFO Mania sequences. So when Piggy is awkwardly reading from the cue cards, that for all, as far as we know, that was Frank doing that stuff.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What must he have thought?
That's a really good question, and I don't know if anyone has ever asked him about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard him discuss this movie hardly at all.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I bet somebody has asked him, but it would be interesting.
I mean, I just feel like when he talks about the Muppets, he talks about Jim.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
You know,
Because those were the years
it's
when he was having the most fun.
right. It's not like he's talking about going, even like going on Martha Stewart or whatever. Like I've never heard him talk about that, you know?
I just remember him somewhere talking about how every time he did a talk show appearance, he wanted the character to come in with a point of view.
Yeah, I have heard him say that. Yeah.
Yeah, which that feels like like somehow, oh, that's the secret ingredient that so many modern Disney era talk show appearances are missing, I guess, is they're just like, yes, I have a new TV special, but the character doesn't come in with like an attitude.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Frank Oz is funny and
He's very
talented.
funny. He is. He's good at his
Talented,
job.
talented
Yes.
guy.
And then before we get to our closing two questions, I wanted to talk again about the Henson Company auction because this is the first episode that we've recorded since the auction concluded. It's also appropriate because Drake, you did a very informative podcast interview with Karen Falk from the Jim Henson Company archives about the auction.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun to talk with about, of course, you got her talking about history and she just goes for it. But some of the items that you wouldn't have thought too much about, she really kind of brought a different point of view to. So that was fun.
Yeah, that even though the auction is over now, if people have not heard that interview, it's definitely worth listening to. And that was on the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast channel feed.
Yes, the
Yeah,
regular
great.
feed. Yeah.
Yeah, go look for that. But there were a handful of Muppets from Space items in the auction that we mentioned, I think briefly in a past episode. But just for the record, Kermit and Piggy's alarm clocks were sold together. The estimate was 600 to 800. They sold for actually, did you either of you keep track? Do you want to guess some of these?
I didn't keep track, but I did have it on in the background and I was watching some of these items as the numbers ticked up and it was wild.
How much do you think Kermit and Piggy's alarm clocks went for?
And what did you say was the estimate?
The estimate was 600 to 800.
I'll say $1,200.
They went for $6,400.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Then there was Fozzie's and Sam the Eagle's alarm clocks. Those were sold together. Again, the estimate was 600 to 800. How much do you think those went for?
4,000.
Ooh, you're so close. $3,840. Just repeatedly, this auction raising the question, who are these people and where do they get their money?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Sweetums and Bunsen and Beaker's alarm clocks sold together. The estimate again was 600 to 800. I will tell you, of the three alarm clock lots, this went for the most money. Any guesses?
$9,000.
$10,240.
Holy cow.
Yes, amazing. Sweetums bath brush, I won't make you guess, but the estimate was 500 to 700 and it sold for 1,600. Somebody now owns Sweetums bath brush and they only had to pay $1,600 plus a 28% auction fee plus shipping. The dining room chair backs were estimated at 600 to 800. I guess that's what we see like in the breakfast scene. They sold also for $6,400.
They were cool though. They could be cool like as a wall installation.
That's true.
Those chairs. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I did wonder some of this stuff like that. It's a good example. The dining room chair backs. What is somebody going to do with that? But you could actually make use of it in your home in that way. Yeah, like kind of as an art thing. I don't even remember seeing Zoot's woodwind case on screen in this movie, but the estimate was 400 to $600. It sold for 1,600. The Uber Gonzo follow spot from the end of the movie, the estimate was 500 to 700. That sold for 1,600. A press kit that was estimated at 100 to 200 went for $768, a very specific number. And then a poster estimated at 100 to 200 went for $2,240 for a poster.
I have the poster for this movie
How much did you
already.
spend? Less than
Yeah,
$2,240?
I think I got it in a book or
Yeah.
something. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a pull-out poster.
And then this was the one when we talked about this before that we were most baffled by. I don't even know where this is in the house. I gotta look for this in the movie. Smoking cabinet and corner shelf set dressing. The estimate was $300 to $500, and it sold for $4,480. Again, what is somebody going to do with the smoking cabinet and corner shelf set dressing from this movie?
Just kind of like hang out with it.
I guess, and just be able to say, hey, I own a thing that was in a Muppet movie.
I wondered about that for a lot of these, but I feel like, I don't know, they pump something into that room when people are bidding, or there's just like, I don't know, some general like it just felt as if something happens and next thing you know, it's, $3,000 more and
Yeah.
it's a poster or a press kit or like something that, sat on a shelf in the background.
Yeah. I also wonder if maybe there were people who were trying to bid on things that just went way out of their range. So maybe that person couldn't afford to pay $3,000 for a prop, but then they said to themselves, okay, I'll pay 768 for a press kit, and then I still will have something from this auction.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And again, if anyone out there listening won something in the auction, please let us know. We want to hear about it. Okay, so Drake, we ask our guests on this podcast two questions. The first one being, what is your history with this movie?
Well, I have a confession to make, which is that I've actually never seen this movie. I mean, I've seen 2 minutes of this movie many times
Whoa.
as sort of a, how there's some classes that are about like one haiku. I would say that I sort of approached it like that, bringing this art form that you've developed of 2 minutes at a time down to its really purest form. So
Holy cow.
I've seen 2 minutes of this movie.
This is it.
This is it.
But you told
Wow.
me that you have listened to earlier episodes of this season of the podcast
I
without
did, but
having
then
seen the
I
movie.
stopped listening when I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be on. But I have some predictions. Can I say my predictions?
Yes, please.
Even though it's going to take us out of these 2 minutes.
And just for,
Um,
so where did you stop watching? What was the last thing that you heard us talk about?
I think it was
Or
probably
stop
like the
listening, I should say.
third episode or something.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot that you've,
So I've got a lot to binge on, which I'm really excited about.
yeah,
Um, so here are my predictions.
yeah.
Ready? Edgar and
Yeah.
Bobo are bad.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
Okay.
They're trying to trick Rizzo and Gonzo. I think that is what's happening. Piggy is trying to be a journalist, and this is her first story. Kermit and the gang are going to rescue Gonzo and Rizzo, and Bunsen develops something that will not work as expected, but will end up helping them somehow.
Huh.
These are my predictions.
Well, I'm
Okay.
excited for you to find out what the answers are.
Nothing earth-shattering, I don't think,
Yeah.
from those
But
predictions.
you don't
What?
want us to tell you though, right?
Well, oh, have you tell me now? Not, no, I'll listen. I'll
Yeah.
listen to this one.
Do you have any predictions about Gonzo's, the aliens that Gonzo thinks are looking for him? Like how that might play out or what we might see.
Somehow they're his family, or somehow from the planet that he's from. There's some connection. I guess there's some connection there.
Yeah. Okay. You'll find out.
Yeah.
So is your plan to watch the movie after the season of the podcast is done and you've heard us talk about it,
Or
or
So
is your plan
now
to never watch Muppets from Space?
that's valid too.
here's the deal. And something I go a little back and forth on. So I grew up in the 80s, so the Muppets was just around. One of my first memories is
Hmm.
watching a rerun of The Muppet Show. My first TV memories, I should say. And that and Dallas. So,
Ah,
really, really 80s family there. But it was Jim Henson was around and the Muppets were around and everybody liked them because they were a cultural, it was like the Muppet Babies and Jim Henson Hour and Storyteller and Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and all of it was just my childhood. And then I distinctly remember the day that Jim died. And I kind of just thought the Muppets died too. I mean, I knew that Muppet Christmas Carol was a thing, and I had
Hmm.
come across that and watched it, and I knew that was after he died. But I think I just kind of thought they went away. I wasn't part of a fan community. I somehow missed other things that came out, and I didn't ever, they just kind of disappeared to me. So I didn't realize that they were actually still creating anything.
Hmm.
And when the 2011 movie came back, um, I was like, oh my gosh, they're back. So for like 20 years, I hadn't seen anything that they did. So people talked about like, the Steve Whitmire Kermit or what. I was like, no, I missed all of that
Huh.
Kermit. My Kermit was like, Jim Henson. Um, and so then I tap back in, but it is so interesting. It's like as if, if you haven't seen someone for 2 decades and then see them, it's evolved and it's different. And it like the differences were really stark. And even with Muppets Most Wanted, because then I kind of jumped back in and then I did find the fan community and podcasts and things and got very interested and read books and really wanted to know more about it. But Muppets Most Wanted, I still feels really off to me. And a lot of
Hmm.
fans really like it. And I feel like maybe it draws more on that 90s evolution of the characters. And there's like maybe just something I'm missing there. I don't know quite what it is,
Huh.
but it still feels like a little bit off. So I have this bit of a conundrum for the stuff that I didn't see because some of it, I don't know, like Muppets Wizard of Oz, I don't really think I need to see. Um,
Bad.
I mean,
and
it
then
depends on how much of a completionist you want to be, I
I
think.
am not, obviously, because
Yeah.
I have so many that I haven't seen. Muppet Treasure Island, I feel like maybe I would have rather just wa rewatch something that I know I like. So now I don't know what to do with Muppets, this one. I feel like
Hmm.
um,
Huh.
do I want to watch it? Do I not? Because I don't have that nostalgic connection to it, and
Right.
it doesn't mean that it can't be good without that. But there's something missing there in the things that I've watched from that era, and even a little bit from things today. There's just something a little bit missing, uh, and I don't know if it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have do you have recommendations? Should I watch it?
Well, I'd be curious to hear how it plays.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like as someone who's seen it a lot of times, I've seen it a lot more than 4 times. I would just I'd be fascinated to know watching it as an adult what you think. If you watched it with your kid, I'd love to hear what
Right.
she thought of it. There's that too. But also there's a million other things to watch. So it's not like you need to prioritize Muppets from Space.
No, although I would say if you have any interest in watching more, like checking more things off your list, I would prioritize because it sounds like the only ones you have of the theatrical movies that you have left are Muppet Treasure Island and this one, right?
I saw Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, you have seen it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, in
but I
that
was kind of
case,
like, meh. I would have rather just watched Muppet Family Christmas again. I don't know.
okay, well, yeah, that's fine
Yeah.
too. I would say this one though, just so because you have one theatrical Muppet movie left then. So if you want to check it off the list, that would be the most compelling reason I think to me. But I know not everybody has that kind of brain or that kind of approach to fandom of things. But yeah, definitely I would not prioritize Wizard of Oz or It's a Very uh, Holly Jolly Folly Wally Christmas Muppet movie thing.
Yeah, no, that probably isn't at the top of the list, but I
Yeah.
do love the names that y'all have made up.
I feel like we got to up our game. I think it's all I'm always just rhyming things when I come up with new
Yeah.
ridiculous
Well, and
names for it. So
I'm sure I've mentioned this on the show. My rule with that, with making up fake names for that movie, has always been that it has to refer to something in the movie.
yeah.
That's a straight jacket I made for myself on the forum like 20 years ago. And I've never deviated from it, but I've run out of things from that movie many, many years ago. So
Yeah.
it has to be like it's a very tappity Amy the Dancing Brick Christmas movie or whatever. I'm like, who
Yeah,
cares?
it's a silly, wacky, fake crocodile hunter-y Christmas movie.
Yeah. Man, that is embarrassing. Like we'll get there on the
Yeah,
podcast.
we will.
That fake crocodile hunter scene. should not have been allowed to happen.
Yeah, when they, and again, we'll get to this, but when they could not get the real crocodile hunter to be in that scene, they should have just cut that whole scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Dr. Dolittle too. Like I don't know why he didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have just been busy. He was making a TV show and
Yeah.
working at the zoo or whatever.
I don't know. He was teaching his kids how to win Dancing with the Stars.
That too. Have both of his kids been on?
Both of his kids have now both won Dancing with the Stars.
Whoa, okay. I knew
Yeah.
Bindi had been. I didn't know. What's
No,
his son's name?
um, Robbie,
Okay.
Robert.
Wow,
I
good
don't
for
know.
them.
Irwin's son. I'm gonna look it up now.
Younger Irwin, other Irwin.
Robert Irwin. Yeah, he just won. He's the most recent champion.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, they have that in common.
So our second question then, Drake, is what is your favorite sci-fi movie or TV show or other thing?
Can I do short stories?
Of
Sure.
course. Yeah,
that
of
gonna
course.
send off your
No,
okay.
that's great.
I don't do a lot of sci-fi, but the ones that have stuck with me for years are two short stories that I read at different times in school, but it's like these images from these stories will come back. And I actually had to look them up because I didn't even know their names. I just remember so clearly what the ideas were. So Ray Bradbury did all summer in a day. And
Great. Love that one.
it is a heartbreaking story where they're on Venus, right?
Correct.
And the sun only shines for like 7 minutes every. It only shines like every 7 years for a few number of minutes or something.
Mm.
And so these children have never seen the sun before, and this is the like day that it's going to happen. And then the main character gets like shut away. Like one of the other kids shuts her in a closet and she misses or closet or somewhere.
Oh, yikes.
She misses the sun. And it is like it's I read it we had to read it in class as a child and it just has stuck with me for so long, that feeling. Like not all the details obviously of the story, but that feeling of this girl and how much she wanted something and how she didn't. It is yeah. And then the other one is Kurt Vonnegut, and it's called Harrison Bergeron,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
which
Also a
is
classic.
it's weird that it's named after a person because I it took me a bit to find it, but I was Googling like the one with the sandbags, but
Uh,
um, it is it is a world in which everybody is held back from any special talent they have with the idea that everyone is equal. So it's if you're really pretty, you have to wear like a mask over your face, and if you start to think really deep thoughts, there's like this pinging that goes off in your head and you can't think anymore.
hmm.
And if you're a really good ballet dancer, you have to have like sandbags attached to you so you can't jump and higher than anyone else. So the idea is that this is the idea of what equal would be. And of course, it is not equal. It's run by people. And so anyone who's trying to think too deep of a thought, this like I don't know, the sound goes off in your brain and you can't think anymore. And there's somebody who like appears on the TV and tries to like tell everybody that this is really going on and all these, this the person telling the story, it's like all of a sudden they get this pinging and then it's like the guy, I believe it's like shot on television or something, but then everybody just forgets because they're all like pulled away because the sound happens and you can't think about it anymore. And it was just, it also, these images from that story just stick with me as like thinking through when you talk about, making people equal, are you talking about holding
Yeah.
people back? Are you talking about like what does that mean and what does it mean when everyone's equal but a few people have power? I mean, just all these different ideas are wrapped up in this like very somewhat simple but complex story. So for me, I think that short stories and sci-fi are the best. They're the best vehicle for sci-fi for me because it's not something I seek out, but when you pull all the world into like that small capsule, I don't know. It sticks in my mind. So those are like the two sci-fi things that have kind of stuck with me.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Both
that's
both
great.
great. Love them. So
Yeah,
that's great choices.
I love a good short story. I don't remember when exactly, like when in the history of our American political climate I read Harrison Bergeron. I remember having some kind of like complicated feelings or uncertain feelings about it because I felt like the message of it could perhaps easily be corrupted by the wrong kinds of people.
Sure.
But I should probably read it again and
Yeah,
see how it
it's
holds up.
short. It's like 5 pages long. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not
Is
very
that all
long.
it is? Because
Yeah,
wow,
it's real short.
it like looms large in my mind. I obviously
Sure,
haven't gotten
yeah.
back to look
It's
at
just memorable. Yeah.
Um, I read that in a class in college entitled 20th Century American Short Stories, which is the kind of class you get to take when you're an English major.
You read The
So,
Lottery. You read
so yeah,
The
it
Interlopers.
was like no
Oh,
Sherwood and Hands by Sherwood Anderson was in there.
I don't know that one.
What's that Flannery O'Connor story where the whole family gets shot at like a roadside diner?
I don't know that one either. Wow. Okay. I have some catching up to do.
I can't, boy, I don't know. This was obviously over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, but that was a really fun class. My professor was great. Shout out to Dr. Deborah Peterson. Uh,
Nice. I hope she's
but
listening.
I hope so. Hi, if so. But that was a very memorable story for me as well. So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
for bringing it up, Drake.
Yes. Yes. Great answers.
Well, thanks
So
for humoring me because I was going to say Terminator 2 just because that
that would be a great choice
that was the
too.
other option. So
Yeah.
Your
Uh,
foster parents are dead. I don't know why that's the line.
I was just thinking that's what you're going with, not come with me if you want to live.
oh wow, I feel like that got dark real fast.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It could have been anything. I'm so sorry.
Wow. So on that note, we'll wrap things up for this week. As always, we want to thank Morgan Davy for our show's logo and Jordan Brandon for our theme song. Listeners, you can find Tough Pigs on the internet at toughpigs.com, and we are all over social media as well as TeePublic and Patreon. You can email us at movinrightalong@gmail.com. We will probably receive it. We will try to reply to you, and maybe you will receive our reply if our email system is not broken that day. You can chat with other Muppet nerds on the Tough Pigs Discord server. Anthony is on Blue Sky at Durwood Clapper. I am on Blue Sky at Me Ryan Rowe. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist, and I am on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. Find out what both of us thought about Wicked for Good and Wake Up Dead Man, which I have reviewed at this point, and I assume Anthony will have reviewed by the time this episode is published.
That seems very likely. I haven't seen it yet as a recording.
Yeah. Drake, thank you again for being here. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
And where can people find you and or your work on the internet?
Tough Pigs, and I'm on the Tough Pigs Discord.
Perfect. So, listeners, seek out all of that. And the next time you meet K. Edgar Singer and he tells you to call him Ed, tell him to listen to this podcast and join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. Goodbye.
Bye.
The old sign off at the end of the podcast trick.